following is a Continental Cablevision special presentation. Live from downtown Beverly, it's the 1995 Santa Parade. To our hosts, Jim Maroney and Melissa Nicholson.
And good afternoon and welcome to the 49th Annual Beverly Santa Parade, brought to you by the Beverly Chamber of Commerce and presented to you right here on Continental Cablevision. We're live on the Sunday after Thanksgiving. It's a beautiful, beautiful sunny day. It's a great parade. We have 7 bands, lots of floats, and of course Santa Claus making a special appearance, the first appearance I think on the North Shore so far this holiday season. Melissa Nicholson, the Executive Director of the Beverly Chamber of Commerce, will be joining me shortly, and she'll help commentate this wonderful parade, which is 49 years old today, and it is a beautiful day down here, and we hope you can stay tuned and look at the crowd here. We've got a beautiful, beautiful crowd. As you can see, they're gathering on Cabot Street. We are here right in front of City Hall, where the reviewing stand will be. There'll be some city officials. The parade will start off with some fire engines, followed by the city officials, and they will stand on the reviewing stand where we are, and where we'll bring you the parade here live on Continental Cablevision. Of course, if you're seeing this on tape, it happened on Sunday after Thanksgiving. I want to let you know the sponsors of the parade. First of all, the Beverly Chamber of Commerce does bring you this parade every single year. It's brought to you by the Beverly Business Community for the community. No tax dollars are used for the parade. Our sponsors today are Bay Bank, Salem Evening News, Warren 5, Thomas Ford, Beverly Citizen, Beverly Cooperative Bank, Continental Cablevision, and the Beverly National Bank, all very kind enough to sponsor today's 49th Annual Beverly Santa Parade. As you see the people on the side there getting ready for the parade to start. In the distance, you can hear the fire engines, which are going to be the first part of our parade today. And it's really going to be a lot of fun here today, the Beverly Santa Parade here. And boy, is it fun. You can see the balloons and things coming down the street. And we have somebody here right now that I want you to see, who is really a big part of this parade. Can't do without the Beverly Chamber of Commerce. Melissa Nicholson, the Executive Director. It's good to see you on a beautiful, sunny Sunday afternoon.
Thank you, Jim. Well, I'll tell you, I'm really pleased with the weather. It's one of those things that we made a special request for, and we got it. I don't think that it would dare rain again on the Beverly Santa Parade.
No.
After that once. I just can't see it happening. I want to introduce somebody who's pretty special and who's been very patient. This is my son, David. David is in 2nd grade and just turned 8 years old, and he has been about as good as any of the volunteers we have. He's the only volunteer that didn't have any choice.
You get dragged into it? You're dragged into it today? Yeah? Is Santa Claus keeping an eye on you to make sure you're okay today?
I hope so.
You better. What are you going to want for Christmas? Any special treats this year you're asking for Santa Claus?
I don't know what I want yet.
What's big this year? You must know something.
Football. Every time. All the time.
Yeah, football was big when I was a kid, too. I guess that year after year, football seems to be the big deal here. Now, do you like fire engines?
Yes.
Well, the fire engines are in the distance, and just a little while from now, probably within the next minute or so, we're going to see some great-looking fire engines. David, you're going to stand here with us and enjoy the parade, so you get the best seat in the house. And you do, too, back at home. You have the best seat in the house because you're going to see the Beverly Santa Parade, every bit of it, because we're going to bring you incredible coverage, the best coverage we've ever had, Melissa. We have 5 cameras covering this, and we depend a lot on volunteers ourselves, too.
I think that's really true. I want to start, I don't know if you've mentioned it, Jim, I've just left the staging area. One of the things that I'd like everybody to know is that it's been an entire effort of the business community for the residents of Beverly. The fire engines are getting louder. I'm getting pretty. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. But again, it's entirely from the business community.
Yes, I did mention that. And of course, a lot of people think the tax dollars go into it, and that's not the case. It's actually the business community as well as We Back Beverly, which is part of it as well, too, isn't it?
That's exactly it. All all of the bands are sponsored. Of course, the bands have a great deal of expense associated with it. Oh, I can really hear the fire engines. And all of those are sponsored by our major businesses, our banks, and so on and so forth. And we're going to read their names on the air as we get an opportunity. Of course, they'll have a banner. Here they come. My goodness, where are they coming from? Now, can they hear them at home? Can they hear the fire engines?
Everything.
Or do they just think we're crazy?
Oh, no, they can hear the fire engines at home.
The parade will start with the fire engines and then with the Beverly Fire Department Color Guard. Engine 1 was called out. Engine 1 of the Beverly Fire Department was to head the parade, and they were called out on an emergency. So it'll be the Beverly ladder truck that's the first truck. And then here we have the Essex County Sheriff's Department.
And they're coming today to kind of do the escorting and crowd control as well.
Keep the crowds back. There's the ladder. Beverly engine number 1. Beverly ladder truck.
Hamilton's coming on right now.
Hamilton.
Well, that's a nice looking ladder truck. Our director is a fireman from Gloucester, so we can really appreciate this part, Jim Capillo. Here comes a classic now from Newburyport we're going to see in just a second here. A classic-looking fire truck. I don't know what year that is, but that is a classic fire truck.
Newburyport's 1938.
1938.
1938.
Emergency management.
And Hamilton's emergency management. Well, if you decide that a parade is good because of the noise, those fire trucks certainly make this a terrific parade.
Now,
they start the parade every year.
I have never seen this color. What is this? What is happening right now?
Oh boy, you're asking the wrong person, but you know what?
We'll find out. Looks the U.S. Army to me. They've got the U.S. Army emblems on.
Actually, I'm going to hazard a guess and say that that's Beverly's Emergency Management, formerly known as Beverly Civil Defense.
And there's still more to come.
The fire trucks lead the way. We have more fire trucks coming.
Well, I will say it did turn out to be a nice day for this parade. As you're watching it live on Continental Cablevision, we're right here in front of City Hall on the Sunday after Thanksgiving. And we have somebody up on that fire truck. It's going to be interesting. I don't know what it is, but it looks like some kind of character.
That's Danvers Engine 4.
There's a Dalmatian up there, typical of the fire department.
Everybody say hello to Jake the fire dog in the back.
Jake the fire dog. From the Danvers Fire Department.
How are you?
Our next
Good boy.
Our next fire engine is the Byfield. Byfield, in addition to being the loudest, is also the furthest away.
That is quite a distance. What, about 20 miles from here?
Traveling the greatest distance to be in this.
Thanks for coming down. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Here's an old fire truck coming up here. So we have Malden Emergency Center. And a good crowd came out for this parade today, too.
They do every year. As I was leaving the shoe parking lot, there were people starting right at the shoe and coming all the way up and around. It's lined just like this, all the way down to the shoe.
Great.
And then again on Rantoul Street. All the way from Medford.
And then another Dalmatian. Beautiful dogs. Absolutely gorgeous looking dog. Beautiful. From Rockport. And there's our friendly neighbors from Salem just across the bridge.
That's North Shore Ambulance. 5 people inside there. Ann Witowski, Mark Larrabee. Patty Murphy and Sean Lerner. Kevin Bennell driving that one.
We have another classic fire truck coming up here. Coming to us from Essex, the forestry fire truck.
They really have a job, especially in the late summer.
Oh, yes. It was a rough summer this past year. I'm sure they're very busy.
It really was.
Beverly Youth Soccer's on that one there. Another Essex fire truck.
Engine number 1.
We're
And
finally-
Manchester engine number 1.
As it's just about winding down here. Boy, there's a lot of fire trucks. Oh, they're throwing candy out. That's a popular one. And check this guy out here.
This is it. This is our single oldest engine.
Great. Love it. And that is just the beginning of the 49th Annual Beverly Santa Parade, brought to you by the Beverly Chamber of Commerce. Melissa, fire trucks, great way to start it off. A lot of bands, 7 bands this year, the most we've ever had in the parade.
We have 7 bands, and I made a special request when I asked for the bands. The request was, could we have lots of drums and lots of noise? Because to me, that's what makes a marching band really special.
So we're going to get that then, huh?
That's exactly what we're going to get.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. Lots of drums and lots of noise.
Should be a lot of fun.
Look at all the kids there. The kids are what makes it when you come down to a parade. The families, I've never seen so many kids. I didn't realize there were this many kids in Beverly.
Well, this is probably about half of them. The other half of them are in the parade. So
Yes, there are a lot of kids in the parade today.
we have 6 or 8 Boy Scout troops and Cub Scouts and Girl Scouts and Brownies in there, and
And you got the St. John's Color Guard. A lot of kids involved in that.
Yes, we do. It's really it's a parade that's really made for the children and really made special by the children in the parade.
Well, it's very enjoyable. A little bit of a lull here, and we want to talk to you a little bit as the fire engines are coming on. I was going to talk to Melissa a little bit about We Back Beverly. Obviously, the parade is funded by businesses as well, but We Back Beverly is by the people. If we could talk a little bit about We Back Beverly.
I'd be happy to. One of the things that's important to mention is that most of the events that are done in the community are done and sponsored by the business community. They're pleased to do that. Most of them believe in giving back to the community through things such as sponsoring bands for the homecoming parade. One of the things that we had as a goal for We Back Beverly is to ask the residents to help us in funding some of those events. And they've been pretty good about doing that. An awful lot of our civic groups have raised money, and Rotary Club, for example, just finished their haunted house. And when they did their haunted house, they gave a check for $500 to We Back Beverly.
Very nice.
There's also an opportunity for residents to send in $5 or $10 or whatever they'd like to do, and they can send that care of the Chamber of Commerce.
Okay, so the care of the Chamber of Commerce. Anytime throughout the year they can do that?
Anytime throughout the year. Our biggest demand, obviously, is right now for the Santa Parade, and then again for First Night, which is one of the events sponsored by We Back Beverly and the business community.
We hopefully will be talking to somebody from First Night before the parade is out. First Night will be the second year they have done that. Tony Toledo, the co-chair, hopefully will be with us and talk about that great event, which is brought to you by We Back Beverly.
Among others. They do have other sponsors, but We Back Beverly is really a fundraising organization for homecoming and the Santa Parade and First Night. So we encourage you to do that. It's important to note that none of those events are sponsored by or paid for in any part by tax dollars or any city funds at all. So.
Well, that's good to know. Now back to the parade, Melissa. Obviously down at the Shoe is where it all organizes. People get there very early in the morning. The parade route starts at the United Shoe, winds down Elliott, Cabot, Rantoul, and back down to the Shoe.
Right.
But what happens down there at the Shoe? You were down there very early this morning, I know, working diligently with Michael Lawler, who is the chairman of the Beverly Santa Parade, and other volunteers as well.
Well, I think it probably looks like chaos, but it's not. It's actually very controlled. There are upwards of 25 or 30 volunteers that put this together, and everybody has a job to do, and they're all focused right on that job, and boy, they sure get it done. Right now, they start by lining up in 3 divisions so that we have an even number of bands and floats and marching units in each division. And we have a crew of judges who pick the best floats in each of the different categories, commercial and civic and nonprofit. They pick the best fire engines and so on and so forth, and we'll be reading those winners. There's also the prestigious Mayor's Cup.
Do we have the winners right now for the fire engines?
They're bringing them up.
Okay, they're bringing them up for us. Okay, very well. Also, too, I think it's worth mentioning, the Beverly Santa Parade just doesn't happen overnight. Right after this parade, the committee meetings, which I'm involved in as well as Melissa, begin. You decide on the theme and who's going to be the Grand Marshal, who is Paul Bucci of the Bucci family, which has been Santa for generations, it seems now. Of course, the late Charlie Bucci was the very first Santa Claus, and now Paul Bucci is going to be the Grand Marshal today, and his nephew will be Santa today. But let's talk about the planning that goes into the Santa Parade.
Well, the first planning committee for the 1995 Santa Parade actually took place in January.
Yeah.
And at that point, they picked a theme, which is this year Christmas carols, and all of the themes, all of the floats, all of the marching units, everything that's in the parade should be along those lines. Should indicate Christmas carols in one way or another. It's up to one float has Feliz Navidad as their Christmas carol, and they have a Mexican theme. There are a lot of different takes on that. You never know. One of them is Santa's Navy, and to tie in with the birthplace of the American Navy.
It's neat.
So they're all themed.
Well, Melissa, it's neat to see the creativity that people put into it. You come up with a theme. Obviously, we came up with a bunch of different types of themes. I remember the meeting, it seemed like forever, a long time ago, and Christmas carols is what the theme is, and what people can do, the imaginations, and I'm sure you saw a lot of imaginative things down there today.
I really did, and each of the groups that does that, a lot of Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, each of the groups that does that does it entirely on their own, and they send us information letting us know what they're doing, but it's really up to them as long as they're themed to that Christmas carols.
But we do have a lull in the parade. It is on its way. If you're just tuning in to Continental Cablevision, the fire engines have come by. We're waiting for the first part, which is the color guard and the city council as well as the mayor, who will come to the reviewing stand, and after that we'll have all the great floats for you as well as the marching bands. I was thinking earlier today when I was driving by, what if a train goes by in the middle of the parade?
It's so
it has
funny
to stop, right? Were you thinking that too?
Well, I was talking to Michael Lawler, who's a vice president of Beverly National Bank and who's really the force behind this parade, and said, "Geez, Michael, I just heard a whistle from something, and I wondered about that. What if a train comes through? Who stops, the parade or the train?" Yeah. Well, actually we have the right of way, but geez, I'd stop for a train. And
we have the right of way. We have the right of way?
Yeah, believe it or not, we do, because we're on foot. However, a train can't stop and we can. So, although there's no train during this time, we would stop for the parade and then hope to catch up. We have somebody coming to the reviewing stand here.
In just a second here. I'm a special surprise since we're delaying here. Somebody who's been around for a long time, in from LA, just flew in special just to say hello to us from the Beverly Santa Parade. I want to let you know that she couldn't miss the parade. This is Jill Stark. She's here in the flesh. It's not one of those photographs that you can stand next to. It's the real flesh.
It's the real thing.
Jill, how are things in LA?
Very interesting. Very different from Beverly, I'll say that much.
Now, you're not going to get snow this year.
No, it's been 80 degrees every single day. It's rained a total of 2 times since I've moved there.
It's rained how many times?
2 times. 2 times in 4.5 months.
2 times. I think I'm going to LA.
You should. You come and see me.
What do you think, Jill? Isn't this great to be back for the parade?
It really, really is. It's so exciting to see everybody and see familiar faces because it's been a little while since I have, and it's great to see the city come out. And you guys have great weather today.
Oh, we do. Now, do they have Santa Claus in LA? Do they do all the decorations and things? Are they going to do all that?
They do. It's very odd to see Santa and Christmas lights in 80-degree weather, but it does happen, so
no
it's
kidding.
Interesting. Different world.
Santa must get hot.
Yeah, I would imagine so with all that clothing he would. So how is the parade going so far?
It's going great. It's been a delay between the fire trucks and what's next, but we have about another minute I can see in the distance the rest of the parade. Mm-hmm. But we miss you at the parade committee meetings, Jill. A lot of fun.
Yeah, I miss those meetings. I miss Mike Lawler and the donuts and the coffee.
Yes,
and
the
Melissa's
donuts.
smiling face early in the morning.
Oh, yes. The only problem we had was Melissa wasn't pleased with the donuts that Michael was bringing. That was the biggest problem we had, but it turned out very well.
I like jelly donuts. Have to have jelly donuts. That's right.
But it's good to see you, Jill. I miss you.
Good to see you, too.
Isn't it great to see all the kids down here?
It sure is.
I had forgotten how many kids actually lived in Beverly, Jill.
So had I. In fact, when I was coming here today, I had to really search for a parking space, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, this is the first year that I haven't been involved in the Santa Parade, and I had to find a parking spot. I had to struggle to do that. But I did find a spot, and I'm really glad to be here. It's great to see everybody here today.
It's good to see you, Jill. I know you have a lot of friends over there, so why don't you enjoy the rest of it with
them. And good luck.
Always good to see you, Jill. Happy holidays.
You too.
Take care of yourself. All right, Jill Stark, who is, of course, with Continental Cablevision for a long time, very well known, and did the parade, too, as well. And it's the 49th Annual Beverly Santa Parade, brought to you by the Beverly Chamber of Commerce, of course, presented to you right here, live on Continental Cablevision on the Sunday right after Thanksgiving. And in the background, we do have the first part of the parade on its way, and we'll bring it right to you, just about another minute or so away. And we want to remind you about the fine people who are bringing the parade to us today. The sponsors, such as Baybank, Salem Evening News, Warren 5, Thomas Ford, Beverly Citizen, Beverly Cooperative Bank, Continental Cablevision, and the Beverly National Bank. We want to thank them all for putting their sponsorship into the parades. And as Melissa was saying, most of them sponsor bands. We have 7 bands coming up, so stay where you are right now. I don't know what you're doing, whether you're digesting your turkey or just sitting around the house relaxing. It's going to be really enjoyable. We have coverage from all angles. The best coverage we've ever had for a parade. We've got 5 cameras. We're not going to miss a thing for you. We're going to get some nice close shots of the kids. So if you've got a kid at home and you want to see them, you're going to get a nice shot of them. So as we look back in the distance, we can see the Sheriff's Department, which has been kind enough to take care of crowd control today. And they're doing their job, too. So let me get a shot. They're getting the pretzel guy to get out of there. Hot, fresh pretzels. Anybody want a pretzel? They're really doing their job. I mean, we're concerned about that, and this guy from the Sheriff's Department isn't messing around.
Well, that's what they're there for. Crowd control is always an issue. Everybody wants to see the parade and they want to see it close up. But it's important to realize that for some of the floats and some of the marching units, they go all the way from one end to the other.
Look at this. Somebody's watching from a roof somewhere. So, I don't know where. We're up there on top of Bell
There they
Market.
are, right up on top of Bell Market. I wonder who that is.
I wonder if Peter Sharon knows they're up there. Well, there they are. We have them on tape. We have the proof. And there we have it right there.
Well, that is probably the second best site to watch the parade. Right here is the first, and people watching at home get to enjoy that. The very first vehicle in the actual parade itself is the community-oriented policing police car, followed by the banner.
Okay. Michael Lawler just stopped by. He's very busy, and we're going to have the list of winners as we go by. The first gentleman you're going to see, there it is, the color guard, as you're looking at right now, the Beverly Chamber banner being proudly displayed on your TV monitor. You can see there.
Well, Jim, that's kind of funny. When I got here last year, the Chamber of Commerce works really hard to put this parade together, and there was no...
We get a shot of Dennis Tarsuk there. He has put a lot into this parade
Sergeant
here.
Tarsuk?
As we see a shot of the color guard still. Sergeant Dennis Tarsuk is in charge of traffic control for this parade, and I'll tell you, he is a very hard-working man along with the Beverly Police Department putting this together. And of course, COP, Community-Oriented Policing, on the bikes. They have the bike patrol out as well today doing the crowd control. There is the color guard.
This is the Beverly Fire Department color guard. Don't they look sharp in their uniforms? The color guard is not supposed to acknowledge the crowd in any way.
Our city officials have just gone up to the reviewing stand. We have the mayor of the city with the key. He's going to give it to Santa Claus when Santa Claus comes by. We have John Mahan. We have Bruce Nardello, the president of the city council. And a host of
our
other
Grand
people.
Marshal right here, Jim. This is our Grand Marshal. This is Paul Bucci. Paul was for 16 years the man in the red suit. We want to be careful how we say that, but Paul spent 16 years wearing the red suit, hiding behind a white beard in the Beverly Santa Parade. He retired his red suit at the end of last year's parade, and we asked him to be our Grand Marshal. Paul is riding in a car which is loaned to the parade by Thomas Ford of Beverly. Mustang GT.
It's a nice car. He's driving in style today.
Well, Paul's been riding in style for a lot of years, considering that this is the first time he's been in a car, always before he comes in a sleigh.
I'll tell you, he's made a lot of children and children of our age as well happy throughout the years. We want to thank him for doing that.
Well, Jim, I believe in Santa Claus.
I'm waiting for him to do a ho-ho for us. I think he still got it in him. It's very fitting, too. He begins the parade. Paul Bucci and his nephew will finish the parade as Santa.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will. Jim, we try to be careful how we... Beverly Civil Defense, now known as Beverly Emergency Management. They're responsible for keeping everything safe here and kind of keeping it moving. They're also functioning as a pace car, making sure. This is the Colonial Band of Lawrence.
It's a 20-piece marching band reestablished in 1973 for parades and special events. They're from Methuen, and they're sponsored by Baybank. Thank you to Baybank for sponsoring that band. And next we have the Beverly Regional YMCA. This year's YMCA float depicts all the fun and excitement of the YMCA holiday style. Children and youth of Beverly are showing you what the Y is all about. Stop by the YMCA this holiday season and check out all the new things happening at the YMCA, the Beverly Regional YMCA.
The flatbed truck for the YMCA was donated by New Beverly Auto Clinic. Thank you. And we have Mrs. Essex County.
Ann Costanza. Hello, Ann Costanza. How are you?
Hello, Ann. Ann's also riding in a Mustang donated by Thomas Ford of Beverly.
The 25th anniversary of Mrs. Essex County of the Topsfield Fair.
Our next float here is Girl Scout Troop, Junior Girl Scout Troop number 622. They are the first place winner in the nonprofit trophy division. Kim Cross is supplying the truck again this year. Tom Drinkwater is parade coordinator for Junior Troop 622. A medley of Silent Night, Jingle Bell Rock, and Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree make this 1950s float a hit, complete with jukebox and poodle skirts.
All right, very, very well done. The St. Mary's Star of the Sea cheerleaders are leading the Mayor's Cup Best Overall. Congratulations to them. And their float name is A Little Drummer Boy.
St. Mary's Star of the Sea really had some success this year. They not only won the Mayor's Cup, they were also first in the educational division. So they're carrying 2 trophies this year.
And it's when you see it, it's going to be absolutely beautiful. It's a nativity scene. Why don't I tell you what it's about before we do see it? Their float will be about the traditional nativity scene of the birth of Jesus Christ in a manger in Bethlehem. The little drummer boy will present his gift of himself, playing his drum for the new Savior. The little drummer boy will be surrounded by 3 kings, shepherds, and the animals within the manger. Rising above the Holy Family will be a star shining brightly and a heavenly host of angels proclaiming the good news. St. Mary's Star of the Sea School, congratulations, the Mayor's Cup Best Overall this year.
St. Mary's Star of the Sea built their prize-winning float on a trailer donated by Don Kelly of Wayside Leasing Corp.
There's a little boy in the front holding his trophy up. He's very proud of it. That's a big float. That's the biggest one I've ever seen. I've done this Santa Parade for quite a number of years, and I think it's the biggest float I've ever seen.
This is it. This is our big winner. If you notice up there at the top of the float, they're holding the Mayor's Cup.
The mayor's very proud of them. He's talking to them right now.
And one of our very wise men right there, John Kelly.
Hello there. Looks like they had a lot of fun putting that one together. Next, we have the First Baptist Church Middle School Youth Fellowship. The fellowship group is collecting canned goods and other non-perishable food items for the Beverly Bootstraps Food Pantry, which is located at the Baptist Church. The pantry is open Monday through Fridays from 11 till 12:30. For Beverly residents, the fellowship thanks all who donated food, glorious food. A lot of people don't have food at this time of the year, and it's very nice that it exists.
That's an important thing to remember. We're very fortunate, and the Bootstraps Food Pantry really looks out for people that are not quite so fortunate.
Brownie Troop number 134, I believe, is that just go by? If they did, they are second place for non-profit. Congratulations to them. They are a very small amount, but we have the Salem High School Marching Band coming by right now, and they're being sponsored by the Salem Evening News. The director is Cynthia Napier.
Napier.
And the color guard instructor is Joel
Dubé.
Percussionist
Jim, do
Scott
you want me
Snow.
to read this?
Why don't you read this? I can't read the writing.
The director is Cynthia Napier. The color guard instructor is Joel Dubé. Percussion instructor Scott Snow. Drum majors Orny Boylston and Matt Barrett. Color guard captains Debbie Bernard and Amy Gifford. The band is sponsored by the Salem Evening News. Now we watch as they perform for the reviewing stand. Salem High School Marching Band.
Jingle Bell's one of my favorites. There's your drums, Melissa.
I think the drums make the parade. I really do.
And they have the official vehicle following behind them.
That's pretty impressive. Does Beverly High School Marching Band have an official vehicle?
We'll find out as they're coming up towards the end. Babes in Toyland.
Babes in Toyland. This is the Ward 2 Civic Association. The theme of their float is Babes in Toyland, where toys come alive with the helps of children. Ward 2 Civic Association wishes to thank Al Cameron, Kathy Craig, Sue Craig, Priscilla Gagney, Lynn and Rick Lord, Joanne Bolden. Special thanks to Butch for driving his truck, Cycles 128 for the generator, and Edward School for the distribution of flyers.
Very nice.
Ward 2 Civic Association.
I like the title.
Our marches here are from the Salem Evening News.
Bringing the North Shore together, they have a float that brings a little holiday cheer to the city of Beverly. News carriers are marching in front of a horse-drawn hayride wagon, which will be coming up shortly. They'll be handing out candy to the crowd, very popular. A company van is following with Christmas carolers ringing from it.
They might feel like they're raging, but I think they're ringing. Mary Richardson, the Circulation District Sales Manager for the Salem Evening News in Beverly, was responsible for getting this float and everyone together to participate.
Now, are those Clydesdales? They look like it.
They look like Clydesdales to me, too, but there might be some horse enthusiasts at home laughing at both
Beautiful
of us,
horses.
Jim. Aren't they pretty? They have
those
their roses
Clydesdales?
on their manes.
What are those? Clydesdales?
Belgians.
Belgians. Okay. I don't know my horses. Belgians.
No, we don't.
From the Twin Cedar Farm in Ipswich, Massachusetts.
Isn't that a pretty sleigh?
Gorgeous. Makes me want to go on a sleigh ride. You having a good time, Melissa?
So far.
Pack 1 Cub Scouts of Beverly.
Pack 1 Cub Scouts are sponsored by the First Baptist Church of Beverly. They're going to stop now and perform for the reviewing stand and give some eyes right to the reviewing stand. The theme is Camping in a Winter Wonderland. The Cub Scouts Pack 1 wishes to thank Tim Brennan of Beverly for all of his support and time. Right behind the marching unit is their parade, Winter Wonderland.
I can smell the Christmas trees, too, that are coming up in their trucks. Have you gotten your Christmas tree yet?
No, I haven't. I kind of, I like to wait until it's just a little bit closer to Christmas. I really do. Well, I'm not quite that bad, but although growing up, I woke up on Christmas morning, and that's when we saw our tree for the first time.
Well, that's the old traditional way of doing it. Christmas Eve, they chop the tree down, and you see it on Christmas morning with all the gifts. of the kids is on roller skates, doing it the easy way in the parade. I guess there's no rules or regulations. If you want to roller skate the parade, you can, right?
Anything, as long as it's safe and as long as it has the theme. Oh, they have a little tent there for
That's
camping
cute.
in a winter wonderland. Boy, that would be cold, don't you think?
I think it'd be too cold to camp out this time of the year.
Well, Jim, I spent 3 years in the Army, and camping isn't fun anymore. This is Brownie Troop 134. Brownie Troop 134 is sponsored by the Ayers Ryoside School.
And they're second for the non-profit division of the 49th Annual Beverly Santa Parade. This is Brownie Troop 134, as Melissa said. The float was designed entirely by the girls. Here they are rocking around the Christmas tree. Truck donated by C.L. Comu Sheet Metal of Danvers, Massachusetts.
Okay, here we have one of the funniest entries in the parade. This is the Grinch and his dog. The dog's name is Jacques, and the man's name is Max. Jacques has been riding a bike since he was a puppy, and he's on a two-wheeler with training wheels, pulling a sleigh full of toys.
That is cute.
I saw Jacques at the staging area, and he is the nicest, friendliest, most patient dog.
I cannot believe he can do that.
And he's doing another parade later today, Jim. So
Is he really?
Jacques will be on a bike for quite a while today. He is a really good dog and really friendly. His owner, Max, says that he does that just for the sheer delight that he brings people.
Amazed he can do that. Especially on such a smooth street like Cabot Street. What's nice this year, Melissa, with the parade is we're talking about the volunteers making sure the parade goes well. The spacing of the parade is nice so people can enjoy each float, each group as they go by, each band, and that is a vast improvement over previous years, which I must commend you on, because I know you worked very hard on that.
We really did. Timing is always a challenge, Jim. It's really hard to keep everybody moving at exactly the same pace. What we have coming up here, and I think our cameras are catching it, is the Giant Puppet Parade. The Giant Puppet Parade is the opening event of First Night, which happened for the first time last year, and will be bigger and better again this year. These puppets were made entirely by volunteers, and
They are beautiful.
The building of those puppets was sponsored by Bridging the Generations. New Year's Eve has become a festive time with First Night in Beverly. What you are seeing in front of you is a sample of the giant puppets that make up the procession on New Year's Eve. That happens from 2 to 5 p.m. on December 31st. That's just for kids, and then it's followed by a 6:30 procession with entertainment continuing from 7 p.m. to midnight. The First Night organizers urge you to come see the folk music stage, the deaf stage, kids stage, music, and more. They have classical, gospel, and cabaret music, and a storytelling stage. Badges are on sale at the library, the Chamber of Commerce, and various downtown businesses.
Very nice. Nice event to look forward to. But right now you're watching the 49th Annual Beverly Santa Parade, brought to you by the Beverly Chamber of Commerce, presented right here live by Continental Cablevision on this Sunday right after Thanksgiving. And we want to thank all the many sponsors that have brought this to you, like the Bay Bank, Salem Evening News, Warren 5, Thomas Ford, Beverly Citizen, Beverly Cooperative Bank, Continental Cablevision, and of course the Beverly National Bank, as we have the St. John the Evangelist Color Guard. Very, very impressive, and hopefully they'll do a performance for us right in front of the reviewing stand, because they are fabulous.
St. John's Color Guard is a youth activity gym that's been active in Beverly since 1992. The Color Guard activity is known as the Sport of the Arts, incorporating musical themes into stage performances involving dance, theatrics, colorful costumes, and props that bring together a wonderful source of entertainment to the activities program. St. John the Evangelist Color Guard wishes you a happy and holy Christmas season.
And I did put in a request for them to do a performance in front of the reviewing stand, so hopefully they'll do that for us. Are they going to stop and do a thing for us? I guess they're not going to do a performance for us. I was hoping they would, because they're just going to march by today.
Following the St. John's Color Guard is the St. John the Evangelist School. They have float. The theme of their float is Joy to the World, a celebration of the birth of Jesus worldwide. A large papier-mâché globe of the earth was made by teachers, students, and parents, and that's the focus of the float this year.
And they came in second for the educational division of this parade today. Congratulations to them.
Oh, isn't that something? Look at that globe. It's a little bit lopsided,
There's Jake
but then
Pike.
I think we have plenty of room for that.
His dad volunteers for
All the children are holding flags
Hi there,
from
kids.
all over.
It's nice to see the smiling faces of the kids.
Well, we missed a performance by St. John's Color Guard.
I know.
We really did. That's too bad.
Because they really are good.
When things get a little bit slow, we have my son Dave here to just blow the horn into the microphone.
Yes.
Thanks, Dave, for doing that.
Coming up next is the Beverly Letter Carriers, distributing candy to the children as well as collecting letters to Santa, which will be answered by Santa Claus. Well, that's great.
Letter carriers do this every year. That's pretty important.
I got to write a quick note to Santa to let him know that I've been okay this year. A couple slip-ups, but overall I've been okay.
Have you, Jim? Have you really been a good boy this year?
Well, not really. Just don't tell Santa. How about you?
Well, it's my job to tell Santa. Each of the mail trucks look like they're sponsored by different organizations. The first one by Victoria Rocky Post.
It's quite a job at this time of the year because the volume of mail really does increase. And
you know, Jim, I got a letter the other day, and the postmark on the letter said, please mail early for Christmas.
Oh, really?
They tell us that every year. Franco-American Club is sponsoring the second mail truck. And O Busters.
Oh, I recognize a lot of these mail carriers.
How? How do you recognize them? Do you
Well,
just
one of
sort
them's the downtown one.
Well, now the downtown one, that's right, I talked to him. He brings my mail every day, and I asked him if he was going to be a part of that. He said they sure were.
There he is. How you
Our
doing?
third truck is sponsored by the ICC, Italian Community Center, Kelleher Fuel Company, and
Wow.
Ryleside Civic Association.
How you doing? Let's try to get some candy out of these people. There we go. All right, Melissa, here's some candy for you.
Okay, this is my mail carrier right here. He'll give us some.
Coming up, we have the West Newbury Veteran
look at
Firemen
that.
Association Marching Band. Melissa.
Thank you. Right there.
The West Newbury Veterans Firemen Association Marching Band is sponsored by the Warren 5 Bank. The West Newbury Veterans 5 Association Marching Band under the direction of Paul Ebby and music director Dave Cook. Proud to be a participant in the Beverly Santa Parade. The band formed back in 1965, celebrates today with us.
Okay, now what we hope for is that this band will stop and do a brief performance in front of the dignitaries on the reviewing stand. Terrific. Jim, do you hear those drums?
I can hear those drums. I think they're going to sound nice.
That's the ticket. Angels be heard on high. Perfect. West Newbury Veterans Firemen's Association Marching Band, sponsored by the Warren 5 Bank. Warren 5 Bank is also a big sponsor of Homecoming.
That was a great band. I like them. It's those drums. This is from West Newbury. It is a fire apparatus of some sort, just kind of tagging along with the band. Hello there. How are you today? Waving at us.
Well, we ask each of the entrants to provide us with some information, and we give them 5 lines
Check this
to do
out.
it
This
in.
is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful.
Oh, isn't that something?
This is absolutely incredible. This is a nice addition.
Also a part of the West Newbury
It's called
Band.
a Packard Clipper, Melissa, what you're seeing right now. That's a beautiful vehicle. Very nice. That is beautiful, that vehicle there. Really is nice. Oh, now we have somebody that most people can recognize without us even saying it. You know who that is?
Yep. Who is it?
I bet Dave knows. Dave, who is that? Tell me who that is, Dave.
I know.
We have the,
Say it.
I can't remember his name.
the Hamburglar and the Grimace.
How can you forget his name?
Good job, Dave. That's the Hamburger and the Grimace, sponsored by and sent by McDonald's. They're at Enon Street on North Beverly.
Oh, he's kind of cute. Look at him.
They ask us to wish a Merry Christmas to all from the Grimace and the Hamburglar and the gang at the Beverly Enon Street McDonald's. They also sponsored coffee for our volunteers this morning.
Here's Steffi's Kitchen, 398 Cabot Street in Beverly, a family restaurant. Hello there, Steffi's Kitchen.
Throwing snow for us.
Having lots of fun there.
They want to remind you that they're open 7 days for breakfast and lunch.
I think I'll check it out. I'm getting hungry looking at it. These are people you like speaking in front of, Melissa. I know you have to talk to them a lot. The Beverly Rotary Club, very nice people.
This float is the Beverly Rotary Club. The theme of their float is how Christmas is celebrated elsewhere. The Christmas carol that they're theming is Feliz Navidad. They want to remind everybody that Christmas is international and Rotary Club is also international. This float features a Spanish theme, Spanish carols, and piñatas and costumes. The Rotary wishes to thank their committee co-chairs, Joe DiLorenzo, Chet Marcus, and the committee, Paul Brienne, Barry Sullivan, Alan Ansello, who is the club president, and Dan Clemes, also the children of Rotary.
Very nice. Here comes Bronny Troop 932 from, of course, the lovely town of Beverly that we're in right now. The Bronnies are wearing Christmas trees. Oh, Christmas tree. Each girl decorated her own tree. The girls come from schools all over the city and are in grades K through 3. They meet weekly and are sponsored by the First Baptist Church. The juniors are all Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. The girls are also from schools all over the city and are in grades 4 through 6. They also meet weekly and are sponsored by the First Baptist Church. These two troops are sister troops. Hey, all right.
There, it's not too hard to figure out which ones are Rudolph.
Hi,
huh?
Rudolph. That's awfully cute. Here comes the junior king and queen of the Topsfield Fair.
Jim, the king is John Lawrence. John is 6 years old, and he's from Danvers. He's in 2nd grade, and he's homeschooled. The junior queen of the Topsfield Fair is Ariel Puccillo. She's 5 years old, and she's from Andover, and she attends the Andover West Elementary School. They're in a Jeep donated by Kelly Jeep Eagle in Beverly.
Well, the queen definitely had the wave down. I don't know when you're speaking, if you noticed the wave. She had it down.
I practiced my homecoming wave.
You got that?
Yep. I always thought I'd be homecoming queen, so I had the wave all down. Didn't work out that way, but I have...
Isn't the wave this at the baseball game?
No, that's the wave now. That's the only wave anybody's ever asking me to do.
Ledgewood Rehabilitation Aid Skilled Nursing Center.
Ledgewood wishes to thank Tony Paglia for creative design coordination. They also want to thank Sharon Conan for printing and creative design, Nina Sable for support, Cheryl Grossman for painting, Mike Grasso for maintenance, woodwork, and design. The first Noel is the theme of their parade.
And they're sticking to the theme. Christmas carols, the theme of the 49th Annual Beverly Santa Parade. They're all bundled up because it's cold out.
We even have a dog dressed up here. I don't know if the cameras can catch him, but we've got a dog, and he's in his his Christmas costume too.
And they have a trophy too. They won the
Ledgewood won 3rd place in the commercial and civic division. You can see their little trophy right there at the back of their float.
Just kind of tagging along there. Kiwanis International.
Kiwanis Club is doing their annual favorite, the Keystone Cops. That is a bunch of crazy Kiwanians acting as Keystone Cops. Our crazy Keystone Cops are Dick Mooney, Carla Cox, Jim Armstrong, John Mayhoe.
Well, look at him.
Truck provided by Robert Marshall Builders.
That's good. They're arresting the city councilor people now.
We have a band coming up. The banner's already gone by. The band's running a little bit behind, though.
I know. We're just giving you a preview there with the graphic there of what's coming. They're entertaining the people down there, but they're going to be wonderful. More candy being thrown out for the kids. It's the Tony Berry Band. Tony is a guy with the Kimballs. Cymbals. I'm sorry. I can't read somebody else's. I say, what are Kimballs?
Well, it's pretty easy to mispronounce that since it's misspelled. So.
It is misspelled. Okay, they're from Saugus.
Yep.
North Shore's favorite. The band, as you said, are sponsored by Thomas Ford of Beverly. I love reading other people's handwriting. It's like a bunch of doctors
wrote it. It's really a challenge. And no matter how specific we try to be about the information we need. Boy, we're having a tough time with these vendors, huh?
Well, these vendors are incredible. We talked about it at the parade committee, saying we'd hope they wouldn't be a problem, but I think they're trying to distract us a little bit here.
Well,
it's
a big commercial opportunity for them, but it really does detract from the main event of the day, which is, of course, the Santa Parade, sponsored by local businesses.
I think it's funny, the banner made its way back to the band.
It looked like they were cracked around by parade chairman Michael Lawler.
That is an incredible crowd.
Yep. It's tough to keep the crowd back.
John Clemento on that crane shot we have right now, one of our fine camera people. And you see Mike Lawler, as he's in the shot there, the chairman of the Beverly Santa Parade. Oh, these guys are having fun here.
The Tony Berry Band. That's Tony right there with the cymbals.
It's a character.
Yep. They are a North Shore favorite, that's for sure. This is their first year in the parade.
That was really good. A crowd pleaser without question. Hopefully they give an extra performance for the city officials, because they definitely deserve a special performance here. Now the city officials will get a special performance.
There we go.
Yes, that was fantastic. Beautiful.
Did you hear those drums, Jim?
The drums were fantastic.
That's the ticket.
They have a great sense of humor. Very, very nice. And sponsored by Thomas Ford of Beverly. Thank you, Thomas Ford, for bringing them to us today.
It's more of our crowd control, Essex County Sheriff's Department.
Here's one of my favorite people from the bookmobile. I always see her driving around Beverly. I want to stop her.
You know,
she's got a lot of neat books.
There are people who only get their books from the bookmobile. They never have to come to the library because the bookmobile goes
to nursing
all over
homes,
the city.
elderly housing, daycare centers, schools, and various streets in the city of Beverly. To request a bookmobile, rather, you can call Linda at the Beverly Public Library at 921-6062.
I wouldn't even try that last name. Bookmobile is driven by Susan Wallerscheid.
Actually, Jill Stark, we just talking to a little while ago, told me when she lived in Indiana, she had to depend on the bookmobile, but she lived about 8 miles away from the nearest library. So
the bookmobile was the way she did it. Jim,
right.
Coming up, we have one of the most interesting floats. This is by Salon Cosmetique, which wishes to remind everybody that they're an environmentally safe salon with no peroxides, no ammonias in any of their products.
This is nice.
The team at Salon Cosmetique put this float together to illustrate that with the aid of environmentally safe products, we can help to keep the earth a native wonder. And
Very nice.
Grandma, do you remember your first date with Grandpa?
Oh my, yes. I was late, and we missed the first half hour of the Philadelphia story.
Nice one, Grandma.
At Continental Cablevision, we're developing the technology that will enable you to find the movie you want. From new releases,
ladies, join me in the den,
to old classics.
John, you remembered. Oh, you remembered that, too.
Grandma.
Oh boy, here we go. Here's a crowd pleaser. The Nathaniel Warner Militia Company. Firing off some stuff. Major Douglas Hobbs, captain. They've been around for the last 10 years, going to parades throughout the North. Wow. I want to thank him for firing up the crowd this afternoon. Thank you. The next band is sponsored by the Beverly Citizen, Dick Kaplan, and the excellent Jazz Band. All right, New Orleans style traditional jazz band featuring the best in toe tapping, happy musical performing, everything from Benny Goodman swing to Sesame Street favorites. The band's sponsored by the Beverly Citizen, and we want to thank them for bringing them to us this afternoon. There's McGruff, the crime dog. McGruff, the crime dog. It's a good imitation of him. Very good imitation of him, Melissa. I didn't think you could get your voice that deep. He is part of the Beverly Community Policing Project. The police bike patrol is here today as well with the crowd control, a strong community through partnership. That is the van being driven by Officer Van Leer, who is the DARE officer. His lovely, lovely wife is in there as well with them, Carol Van Leer, who is part of Bridging the Generations. Community police van that you just saw go by will come to your neighborhood, talk to you about child safety, neighborhood watch, home security, and you can call Officer DiDonato at 922-1212 if you want more information about that. It's from the Sheriff's Department. You still have the Sheriff's Department coming by as well as the bike patrol people from the Sheriff's Department. Those are the gentlemen who go around the perimeter of the Essex County Correctional Facility in Middleton. Very dedicated. Nice bikes. I was just talking to listen to them about the bikes that go on the perimeter of the correctional facility. You would think they couldn't get out, but I guess I want to make sure just in case. A little extra. These are great. These are the Cora log rollers, who are always great. Mini truck unit from the Cora Shrine in Saco, Maine, making their 4th appearance in the Beverly Santa Parade. These guys are terrific.
They really are. They're a crowd favorite every year. They always look like they're going to run people over, and they never do. They're sponsored by Beverly Cooperative Bank.
And I will say they do not charge for parades. but do accept donations for travel and expenses. But anything that they do get does go to the Shrine Hospital. So very dedicated people. Nice to have them here today.
Those trucks are a lot of fun.
These guys are a riot. Just zipping up and down the street. Definite crowd pleaser as they zip by. Well, I will say everything has gone smoothly so far. Only one thing has been out of order, so I do want to correct things. As the Essex County Sheriff's Department was supposed to be behind them, I want to let you know that upon the opening of the new Essex County Correctional Facility in Middleton, Sheriff Charles H. Reardon formed a special unit you just saw go by to represent the Sheriff's Department as well as himself in over 60 events yearly, such as parades, funerals, Special Olympics, and of course right here, the Beverly Santa Parade. And we want to thank them for coming down here as we just saw them go by. And the Cora Log Rollers are history for this year. Hope to see him again next year. Wow.
I just saw the parade chairman, Michael Lawler, walk by. He says, we're smoking. All right. He seems to be pretty pleased with the way things are going. It is going very well, don't you think?
It's smoking, as he just said. Smoking, baby. It really is. This is the Dance Center of Danvers. Their float is a tribute to contemporary Christmas music and dance, from children's favorite carols to rock and roll. Christmas is a perfect time to celebrate the joy of dancing. Shall we dance?
I don't think so. Let's watch the experts do it. Actually, they look like, for safety's sake, they're sitting right down.
Thank you. All right. Very nice.
There we have some dancers on foot.
Okay, next we have a band I know you're going to really enjoy. It's the Hamilton Wenham Regional High School Marching Band, sponsored by Continental Cablevision, and Melissa, they're making their first appearance in many, many years. Michael Lawler or somebody must have twisted some arms to get them here, but they're well worth it.
We ask them every year to do it, and we had a lot of sponsors this year, so we were able to pay the expenses for a lot more bands.
That's Matt Young and Scott Zulo representing Continental Cablevision. We want to thank them for carrying the banner for Continental. Again, Matt and Scott, nice to have you here.
Walking right alongside them on the far side is Jane Lyman. Jane does a lot of work for the Chamber of Commerce. She's the Community Relations Specialist at Continental Cablevision.
And my boss. My boss's boss. Well, let's take a listen to the Hamilton Wenham Regional High School Marching Band. Anybody's counting, they are a 50-piece marching band, again sponsored by Continental Cablevision, the Hamilton Wenham Regional High School Marching Band. Thanks for coming down this year. Really liked having you here. And we're enjoying your company too here on Continental Cablevision as we have the Cub Scout Pack 2 going by. Cub Scouts will be marching in this parade, as you can see, with a beautiful, beautiful scene here. Looks like something out of Dr. Seuss. Actually, that was Metaplex. Boy Scouts of Ryle's side. They got a little bit out of order here, so we're going to have to try to figure out what's going on here.
Cub Scouts Pack 2? Is that what we've got?
Well, I know they're all from Ryle's side going by right now, so whatever we have, I hope you enjoyed.
We'll have to accept our apologies. It looks like we got something just a little bit out of order. You know what we have here, we have Cub Scouts Pack 2 right here. They're marching in the parade. Their den leader is Tim Campbell. Loretta Campbell over there with those kids pushing in the baby carriage. Morgan. They want to thank their sponsors, Dane Street Congregational Church. Jim, we have the Beverly Lodge of Elks. One of the things that the Beverly Lodge is going to do is present some roses to Mrs. Scanlon. That's Louise Scanlon, wife of Beverly Mayor Bill Scanlon. Their theme, Jim, is a holly jolly Christmas. It's a typical Christmas morning in a Beverly home while all the family sits around the fireplace and opens presents under the Christmas tree. And here we are, Jim, with the Elks presenting a dozen roses to Mrs. Scanlon. At the back of the float?
At the back of the float, the North Pole, Mrs. Claus.
And the elves.
And the elves await Santa Claus's return. We don't see them just yet, but when we get a shot of them.
It's this part, it's the back part of this float. Dozen roses for Mrs. Scanlon, isn't that nice?
And Mayor Scanlon will be giving the key to the city to Santa Claus very shortly.
Jim, it's something that we started doing for the first time last year. It's really important. It is the Santa Parade collection effort. The two boys we have here holding the banner, they're followed by some volunteers from the Anchorage in Beverly asking people to participate in the collection effort. That gives the people who enjoy the parade, the residents of Beverly, an opportunity to go by and donate some money to the parade. That really makes a big difference, makes it a lot easier for us to make the parade bigger and better. Reminders to make those donations are being done by Beverly Civil Defense, now called Beverly Emergency Management.
Okay, here comes Beverly's birthplace of Santa's Navy. It's Pack 4 Cub Scouts of North Beverly. Before Santa had found the magic dust that enabled his reindeer to fly, he had to deliver all his presents earthbound. This included going around the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Inspired by General John Glover, he created a fleet of boats built right here in Beverly to reach far-off lands in less time than ever before. All the Cub Scouts of Pack 4 would like to thank Bill McGrath, owner and operator of WAM General Contractors, for driving his truck and the use of his trailer for the float.
This is Cub Scout Pack 4, birthplace of Santa's Navy.
And they came in third for the nonprofit division of this 49th annual Beverly Santa Parade. Congratulations to them. That is a beautiful float. Very creative. And we have the Little Brownies from Troop number 84 from the Second Congregational Church, right on the corner of Cabot and Conant Streets in Beverly.
Jim, they want parade watchers to know that they all put together fruit baskets for the Bootstraps Food Pantry and made their musical best at the same meeting. Here we have it. This is it. Jim. This is the Beverly High School Marching Band.
Sponsored by the Beverly National Bank. Beverly 1995 Marching Panther Band is marching 75 winds and percussions, 21 color guard members, and 3 drum majors. Their halftime show was based on 4 selections depicting the 4 seasons of Beverly. Their efforts won them silver medals at the MICA and NESBA championship finals a few weeks ago. Congratulations to them. They've been sponsored by the Beverly National Bank. And they
They're
were really
always
good.
a favorite, our hometown band.
Wonderful job. There's your drums.
Now, don't you think that makes the parade?
Yes, definitely.
We got to clear a path for the man to float. He's going to find the ladder that's going to right into Santa's sleigh off the back of the truck. So you get the step ladder, okay?
There's the sheriff's escort for Santa Claus.
Jim, the Sheriff's Department also sent a 5-man bike unit to escort floats and trailers. They provided an escort for the Santa float, 2 cruisers for the front of the parade, and motorcycles for the sides of the float and other large trailers.
I will say the Bike Patrol did a wonderful job, both from the Sheriff's Department as well as Beverly's COP. Really made a difference in this parade today. So Santa Claus is going to say hello to the city officials.
Santa will receive the key to the city from Beverly Mayor William Scanlon.
Oh, the kids are getting really, really excited.
That's it, you can really hear it.
Kids are getting very excited. Here's the jolly guy right now himself. Lots of presents up there. Any for you?
I'm sure there are, Jim. I'm going home to Iowa for Christmas, and when you go home, you get more. So
okay, there is Mayor William F. Scanlon presenting the key to the jolly man himself. There's Bill.
Mayor climbs up a ladder, and Santa has the key to the city.
All right. As he holds the key proudly. He should be proud. As he holds the key to the 49th Annual Beverly Santa Parade. And there's a few kids getting a chance to say hello to Santa Claus.
Those are some very lucky children. Just a moment to
I
tell
know some
Santa
of the kids there.
what it is
I know that kid there. I know his friend there. Representative Cahill has a little child in his hand. Hopefully that child will make its way up there.
A niece or nephew, I think. I don't think Mike has children of his own.
No, I'm sure it is not his.
You can see Mayor Scanlon handing children back to the waiting arms of their parents after they've made their brief talk with Santa, given their big pitch for their favorite toys this year.
This might be a good opportunity while Santa Claus is saying hello to the children to go over the winners of the 1995 Beverly Santa Parade, Melissa. The Mayor's Cup, fittingly enough, as the Mayor's up there right now. Best overall, St. Mary's Star of the Sea Church. And Melissa, you can tell us the nonprofit divisions there.
Boy, the judges had a tough decision to make, Jim. They really did. The first place in the nonprofit division was Junior Girl Scout Troop 622. Second place was Brownie Troop number 134. And third place, Cub Scouts Pack 4. Boy, I don't know. It seems to me like those Girl Scouts kind of have it over the Boy Scouts.
I think they do. In the commercial civic division, it was first place for the Beverly Lodge of Elks. Second place, Metaplex of Beverly. And third was the Ledgewood Rehab and Nursing.
And in the educational division, Jim, St. Mary's Star of the Sea Church, which also won the Mayor's Cup. The second place was St. John's School.
Okay, Santa Claus is getting a big round of applause. All right, Santa Claus. I think he can see us over there. Thank you, Santa Claus, for coming down here. Making a special trip. A lot of smiling faces right now. A lot of happy kids. Bye, Santa Claus, as the crowd waves goodbye. As that does wind down the 49th annual Beverly Santa Parade. And it was quite a parade. And we just want to finish off with the educational division. You said St. Mary's Star of the Sea Church came in first. Beautiful, beautiful float. St. John's School came in second. In third place was the Ward 2 Civic Association. And we want to mention that the fire truck division's best apparatus, Malden Rescue 2. Newest apparatus, Salem. They have a 1995 model. Oldest apparatus was from Newburyport. 1938 was that old one that we saw earlier.
1938.
And as you said, too, the apparatus traveling the far was Byfield, Melissa.
Well, that really does make it special. I'm going to take a minute, Jim, just to thank our sponsors again, and help me if I miss any of those. We have Baybank, the Salem Evening News, the Warren 5-Cent Savings Bank, Thomas Ford of Beverly, the Beverly Citizen, Beverly Cooperative Bank, Continental Cablevision for all the wonderful things they do for the Santa Parade, and the Beverly National Bank. Big thanks to our volunteers, especially Michael Lawler, the parade chairman, who is back at work accomplishing his duties. I don't even see him here anymore.
Actually, we have in the credits you'll see the names of the people from the Beverly Santa Parade Committee that worked very, very hard throughout the year putting this together. Melissa, another successful parade. I enjoyed it. I hope you did too, as well as our viewers back at home. I'm Jim Maroney on behalf of Melissa Nicholson, Executive Director from the Beverly Chamber of Commerce, wishing you and your family a very, very happy holiday season from the Beverly Chamber of Commerce, the City of Beverly, and of course, right here, your friends here at Continental Cablevision in Beverly. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.